Today we are going to rank all of the video games that I played in 2022, and some of them are games that were released in 2022, a lot of them aren't. Most of them I think are games I played for the first time in 2022, but there are also some games that have carried on from previous years. But this is it, so you can pretty much see down the bottom there. I think that's everything I played. It's possible there was something small I played somewhere that didn't make it, but this should be, I think, everything that I played in 2022. So we're going to go through that. As you can see, I've got just the basic 5 tiers here, but I've specifically put it as love, love, love. So a game like I absolutely love. Def recommend a game that's really good, but maybe I don't love it with my whole heart, but I definitely think you should play it. Good, okay, fine. You know, games that are good, but maybe not my favorites, or they're just fine. And then we have could be better. So these are probably the games that I didn't really like. Originally, I had down the bottom, don't bother, but 1, that seemed really harsh. 2, I don't think there's much I would have put there. And 3, there are some games here that I've only played maybe once, so I put a barely played category for those games that I've maybe only played an hour of, so I don't know whether I even have that much of an opinion. So there are tiers, that's what we're going to be working through. We're gonna rank some video games. As I said, as I was trying to say, because I'm totally not avoiding it, Resident Evil Village is the first one here. We know we are currently doing our Resident Evil Village playthrough. We did just get through the castle, and I have definitely not been avoiding it because it was revealed there may or may not be dolls in our future. Obviously, I haven't finished this yet, but I have been really enjoying it, so I'm gonna put it in the def recommend. I haven't finished it, but from what I've played, I've been really enjoying it. But, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Next here, I have Teamfight Tactics. Here you go, Teamfight Tactics, which is the little strategy game connected to League of Legends, which I prefer much more to League of Legends personally. I don't like the traditional League game, kind of at all, but I like the characters and lore and stuff, and I enjoy this game. So if you like those little strategy type games, I do enjoy this. Doubt you finished 3 games? Hey now! Look, Teamfight Tactics isn't a game I can finish, because it's one of those there's a lot of games here that are those type of ongoing or multiplayer games, so I can't finish, and Tactics is one of them. Next here, I have Resident Evil Biohazard. Here you go. This is a game I finished. We did play a lot of this game the year before in 2021, but we finished it in 2022. So here you go, a game I've completed. Thank you very much, Nathan. I have finished this game. I really enjoyed this game, though there were a few moments that I was briefly lost, or obviously I got scared a lot. This is probably the game I've played that I've screamed the most while playing. But I really enjoyed it, but at the same time, I don't know whether it quite reaches that favorites level of I love this so much, it's a favorite game. So I think I'm still just gonna put it in that yes, I definitely recommend this, it's a good game. So next here I have Hellblade, what's it called? Senua's Sacrifice, I think. We played this once on stream, that's the only time I've played it. For anyone who was there at the end of that stream, I got stuck in a boss battle, and I spent probably, I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes trying to do this boss battle over and over again, and I ended up getting so frustrated that I had to just end stream, and I was so mad. And then I decided after stream, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna give it one more go. And of course, that one time I tried off stream, I freaking got it. But I haven't played it since. I was really enjoying it to begin with. It was a bit of a different experience. But at the same time, I have kind of that sour taste in my mouth from that experience. This is why I don't play games like Dark Souls, right? Because I don't necessarily enjoy that level of challenge, it just makes me mad. And once I'm mad, I'm not enjoying it anymore. And as satisfying as it is when you finally get it, when I finally beat this freaking boss, I was more angry than anything. So, so I'm nothing necessarily against the game, but for that reason alone, I'm gonna be yeah, this game's fine, but I'm also too mad to put it anywhere higher, you know? On a different note, something that is just like good old cozy vibes, good vibes only. Disney Dreamlight Valley, this hasn't been like officially released yet. It's like early access technically. I did play a bunch of it on release and have kind of dabbled in it since then. I've been enjoying this, but at the same time, it's not one of my favorite games. I don't really know what it is. I feel like there are so many things about this game that I like a lot more than other games I've played, and yet at the same time, like, I'm not actively playing it anymore. But then, I don't know whether that's also just me, and like, I go kind of in and out with those type of cozy games and wanting to play them anyway, because I do love, like, story and horror-based stuff so much. But I have really enjoyed it. But I'm still kind of torn here, like, to where I put it, because, like, I've enjoyed it, but it also, but then at the same time, it's early access and not finished. I feel like I'm gonna put in, like, yeah, it's good. I'm not gonna go out of my way and say, yeah, this is a fantastic thing, everyone should play it, but, like, obviously, a lot of people who are primarily cozy gamers have been loving this game, and I have enjoyed it. I think I'm just not primarily a cozy gamer. I think maybe is part of what, I have spent, yeah, a bunch of time in it, but I don't know, I've got those mixed feelings about it in just like, there isn't necessarily anything wrong with it, it's just, I don't know. You're gonna be disappointed, Sierra, because I don't have a lot to say, because Gloomhaven, was free, for download at some point, so we downloaded it, we played it once, and then Nathan uninstalled it. So I haven't played it again because he uninstalled and it won't play it again with me. So we only played it once. So this is one of the ones that has to go in the freaking barely played section because we played it once. Yeah, and Min was going to play with us too. And then I talked to Nathan and I was like, hey, we still need to play Gloomhaven with Min. And he's like, oh, I uninstalled that. It's like, what do you mean you uninstalled it? From the little bit we did play, what we did find was that it was quite difficult, but we were playing with just the two of us. And it hadn't put in like the full AI team or stuff like you could do. So what we thought is that maybe with like a full party, whether that was with other people or with like the AI, it might be more manageable. So this is something that I don't not have interest in playing again, but the person I was playing with uninstalled it. So I only played it once. But yeah, it was quite difficult from that little bit we played, but I can't really have an opinion beyond that because I haven't played it again. Beyond that one game we played and died.
Condition! Unacceptable!
Pokemon. I still don't know whether it's Arceus or Arceus. I think I just go between saying it both ways. But I actually love this game. Admittedly, I don't think I've finished it. I don't think I've finished the story of this game. I should maybe go back to it. But the time I spent in this game, I enjoyed so much. It was such like a breath of fresh air in the Pokemon franchise because it was that little bit different. And this is one of my favorite games I played all year. I really enjoyed this. I'm putting it at the top because it's one of my favorite things I played, even though I technically may not have quite got to the end, I don't think, but that I rarely do, let's be honest. But I loved my time in this game. It was just, I just really liked it. It was just a good time. It was just a good time. Yeah, I've talked about this before in the context of, for years, I disliked this game quite a lot and refused to play it because I'd played it a couple of times and really not liked it, and also being a teacher and it being the only thing that was spoken about for 2 years on launch, I really didn't like this game. However, it is now probably my most played game. I think it is the game that I played the most last year. Like, obviously, it wasn't in my Steam recap because it's not a Steam game. My top game on Steam was Dead by Daylight still. However, given that I haven't played much Dead by Daylight since the start of last year, I'm pretty sure Fortnite overtakes that with hours played. So, in saying that, I still wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite games ever, but it's just such a good time to play with friends. So past Starzy right now is like kicking me, and is like raging, but Mysterium, this is like a board game, so this is like a digital version of a board game where you have to, like, give each other clues to try and figure out... Oh my gosh, I played this so long ago now. I played it near the beginning of the year. I can't remember whether you're trying to figure out, like, who the murderer and stuff is, or something along those lines, and you have to just, like, give each other cards with, like, art on them kind of thing for people to try and guess clues from. So it's kind of a cool concept. I only played it the once. Like, we played a bunch of rounds, but I did only play the once. But again, I'm gonna put it, like, here. It's a fine game, but it's just, like, a digital version of a board game. So it's not, like, the most exciting thing to play, but again, it would have been one of those things that would have been perfect, like, while we were in lockdowns. And again, it's something you need people to play with. Forewarned! Vanessa, we need to play Forewarned again. Ali, like, specifically said today that she wants to play Forewarned again, so this is, me just passing that on to you. But yeah, Forewarned is another game I've played with Ali and Vanessa a few times. Ali likes to hide up the top so that she can't get caught by the scary things. It's a similar type of game to, like, Phas, except it's in, like, Egyptian tombs. And I've had a lot of fun with this. I know some people have played it and haven't liked it, but again, it's one of those types of games that I think your experience is partially made by who you play it with. So if you're playing with the right people, it can again be a lot of, like, that silly fun. So I would recommend this. Again, like, I think that's the thing with a lot of, like, multiplayer games, that you need, like, the right group of people to play it with. But, I have fun with this, even though I've seen some people who really didn't like this game. But I've had fun with it. Basically me and Starzy hunting the ghost and Ali sitting on the staircase yelling, basically yes. Like, Ali, get your butt down here! Don't leave us to die alone! Hey, this is another game I've actually completed, so clap for me. Clap for me. This is another game that we played and completed on stream. It's another thing I need to get back to editing too, because my first episode of this playthrough is on YouTube and I need to go and edit the rest of it. Thank you. Look at me, I complete games sometimes. I really like Little Nightmares. I don't know which one I liked more. What I do know is that Little Nightmares 2, there was one section I absolutely hated, just on, like, a personal level of, I hate, like, creepy dolls and mannequins. For that reason, given that there was a section of this I hated, I'm not putting it up the top, but I liked this game overall. This is something I need to get back to. I haven't played through all of them. This is just like a little, what it says, an escape simulator. They're just like these little escape rooms that you can, like, play with other people, and I really like it. I haven't played through all the rooms it has, and I know now there's, like, DLC, and there's also, like, custom rooms you can download and stuff. But if you like those little, like, escape room things, I do really like this. I need to play more of it. Borderlands 2, so this is this the, oh no, this isn't the first game. There are a few games here that I started the year before. But this is a game that I played originally when it released, so a long time before 2022, but I did play a little bit of it in 2022. I keep knocking Spike. Actually, I think I played this, I think I played Borderlands 2 because I played it, like, with friends once, Minimi, when are we playing Borderlands 2 again? But this is one of my favorite games of all time, and I would like to play more of it. I'm just waiting for some people to tell me that they've re-downloaded it so that we can play. That's what's happening. I love Borderlands 2 so much though, like, top 10 games of all time, Borderlands 2, it's up there. Not a new to me game in 2022 by any means, but it's a game I love enough that I will continue to play it, like, year after year. And yes, it is a game where have finished the main story, so thank you. It's also a game I introduced to my little sibling. It's also one of the very first games I streamed. I think the first game I streamed was Far Cry 5, but in that, like, year or two where I was first streaming, like, really infrequently, just when I felt like it, Borderlands 2 was one of the games I was streaming because I introduced my little sibling to it, and we would play sometimes because they'd come and stay over, like, every second Friday. And sometimes we'd play games, we'd usually play games, and so sometimes we'd stream Borderlands 2, and so that was technically one of the early games that I streamed on Twitch. Anyways, this is another game that I played with Ali and Vanessa, but I think we only played it once. I think we played it once, we were a little confused as to what we were meant to be doing or how we were meant to survive the monster, Ali and Vanessa both died and left me to fend for myself trying to do a puzzle. I completed the puzzle and then we have never visited the game again. Okay, yeah, we've only played it once, but at the same time, it was just, I don't know how, like, it's something that had promise, but at the same time, we didn't really know what was going on. So, I mean, I could put it in barely played because we played it once, but if I had to have an opinion, like, it would probably be somewhere like here. Because it wasn't like a terrible experience, but we also just didn't really know what was going on, and it took me a while to even figure out that puzzle. And as I said, they just like both died. We're like, we don't even know how to escape this monster or what to do. So this feels harsh, but I feel like unless I was to play more of it and it actually did make more sense, I don't know. Like, I enjoyed the time we were in it, but it was also like, I don't know what's going on. Alright, Stardew Valley. Not a game I would have played for the first time. Something I just dabble in every now and then. Again, like, cozy games in general, I feel like rarely are like my favorite things ever, but like I can enjoy my time in them. So I'll put it up there. Here's another board game. Cluedo was actually my favorite board game as a kid. And I always like won against my mom. But again, it's just like a digital version of a board game, so it's not like the most exciting video game. Though again, if you had like the right group you were playing with, it would probably be great. I think I've only played this just like me and my sibling, so not like with a full group. So like it's good, it's fine. It's Cluedo in digital format if you want that. Mass Effect. Another game we were playing here that I kind of just stopped playing because it was like taking too long, and I love Mass Effect 2, and I've always said Mass Effect 2 is in like my top games, and I still think it is because of like the character and story and everything, but it's just not my favorite combat. This is something that I have a problem with in a lot of games, is that a lot of games, even ones I really love, I don't necessarily vibe with the combat. So this is one of the problems I have with Mass Effect, is that I love the game overall, the combat's kind of meh, though, to me. So I'm kind of torn here as, like, because, oh, I didn't mean to make that smaller. I'm kind of torn here because, like, Mass Effect 2 is one of my faves, but at the same time, like, can I put something up there if there's an element I kind of don't like that much? But at the same time, if I was making a top 10 video games list of all time, Mass Effect 2 would probably still be in it, so it would be ingenuous to like not put it in that top tier if I'm going to put it in my top games, even if I don't love the combat. I don't know, man. I don't know. Disco Elysium is a game I've played a few times, so it doesn't really, it's not barely played. I have played a number of times. I haven't finished it though, and I don't know, like, I don't know how to feel about it, just in context of, like, this is a really interesting game, and quite a unique game, and it's exploring a lot of, like, kind of more deep and philosophical and weird kind of things with almost, like, Lovecraftian vibes, and it's really interesting, but it's not something that I would, like, recommend to everyone, because it is so unique. Like, it's something that definitely not everyone would vibe with, so it's, like, it's not something I would recommend to everyone, but I think it's, like, unique and good at what it's doing. So I guess for that reason, like, I'm still gonna put it here. But, like, it's definitely wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea. And I do need to get back to it. It's one of those games where you have to be right in the right headspace, because it is dealing with those kind of bigger ideas and some, like, darker themes and stuff. Like, you need to be in the right headspace to play it. I feel it's one of those type of games, too. We've got more Borderlands here. Again, not a game I played for the first time in Borderlands 3, but I think I played some of this because it was free on Epic. Not that I downloaded it on Epic, because I already had it on Steam, and now I regret not redeeming it on Epic, though, because you got, like, benefits for doing so in, like, other games and stuff. But I digress. I think this was free on Epic, so, like, Nathan was playing it. And another case of being mad at Nathan, because he played it without me. And I was like, excuse me, Borderlands is legitimately one of my, like, top 5 franchises of all time, and you are playing Borderlands 3 without me. when it came out on release and I asked you to play it with me, you said no. Anyways. I played some Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3, I don't love as much as Borderlands 2. It doesn't have the same, like, heart to it, but it's still, like, a good time. So, like, would I ever recommend Borderlands 3, like, over other games in the franchise? Like, not necessarily, but it's also, like, still a lot of fun. And it's still, like, one of my top franchises, so the fact I, like, enjoy the franchise so much overall it probably bumps it up for me as well. So, but at the same time, it's kind of like, it's probably kind of good, okay, fine. But, like, I love Borderlands so much. So, speaking of Borderlands unicorns, the Quarry. Here's a 2022 game release that we played through on stream. Stupid Children's Simulator. Yes, Stupid Children's, yeah. So we did play the Quarry on stream. We did play again, so this is something we technically played through the whole game, although it's a game you can, like, revisit again and again, but we did get through a whole playthrough of the Quarry. So this, like, I enjoyed the experience enough, but at the same time it was a little bit disappointing, especially I feel like one of the big things with this is that there wasn't really any surprise. Things were kind of exactly as you expected. And so nothing really kind of happened that was like, oh my gosh, or like, you know, it didn't really have that moment to it, which is in this type of game I think you kind of want. Like even like Man of Medan is the other game that I've played and I streamed that as well. And I didn't love that game just because I mean, part of the reason I didn't like Man of Medan was because I didn't like the plot twist because it did a trope that I don't like personally. But at least it, like, had that kind of plot twisty thing going in it, whereas this was just like, yeah, it is what you expect. So it was a little bit of a letdown, but it was still, like, an enjoyable enough experience. I don't know, where do we put this? Like, I didn't hate the experience, but it was also a bit of a letdown. And, like, yeah, a lot of the characters were kind of insufferable. But, you know, that makes it all the more fun when people die, except the character that was the most insufferable did not die in our playthrough. Like, I think that was the main thing. Like, in these type of games, you want, like, something to happen or something that you're not expecting. And it all kind of played out as exactly as you thought it would. And you could kind of guess a lot of what was going on quite early on. And it was just like, okay. Like, it was just okay. But, yeah, I don't know. Fall Guys, I don't think I played much of this, but I technically played some of it in 2022. This is a game I can enjoy, but I don't think it's, like, the most amazing thing ever. So I think, like, it's good, it's fine, it's okay. Multiversus came out. I played a little bit of this and then never visited again. Like, I did play it a few times. I don't know how much of it is just this isn't necessarily my type of game versus it not being that good. Like, it's hard for me to make a call there because, like, I've never been, like, a big Smash Bros person or anything either. But I'm still, like, I don't know, it just didn't connect with me, but again, that could just be that it's, like, not my type of game. Okay, so here we get to the game that is Nathan's fault. So this is the game that I was playing with Nathan, and we did quite a few sessions of it. At one point, we were playing, like, once a week, which was a great time, and then he decided he was kind of done with it because he thought the gameplay was kind of repetitive, or he just didn't want to play anymore, I don't know. And then we've never gone back to it, and I'm really sad, because I would like to keep playing this and finish this game, but it was a playthrough we were doing together. But I was really enjoying this. You fight zombies, you parkour, it's a good time. If you want parkour and zombie fighting, play some Dying Light. Somebody please convince Nathan to play more of it with me. This is the game, this is the one game that I might have put in my lowest tier if I'd had it on here, but I only played it once, but at the same time, that one time I played it, I played with a group, right? A group of us played this game for a bit, and then as soon as we closed the game, we all immediately returned it on Steam. Like, this is a game kind of like Phas, but it kind of throws you in with zero explanation. The tutorial gives you nothing. Couldn't really work out what was going on. It was kind of so yeah, we just returned it and never played it again. So yes, it could go in barely played, but at the same time, like, if we were that confused slash didn't like what was going on enough that we returned it, like, you know? I don't know. It had some interesting ideas. I don't know whether this was early access as well or whether this was finished. But at that stage, wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it. Hooked on You. Who remembers this game? I played this once on stream and I've never revisited it. This was a fun time when we did play it on stream. I don't really know why I haven't visited it again. It was a fun time, but it's not one of my favorite dating sims I've ever played. So I feel like it's fine. It's good, okay, fine. Especially if you're someone who has played a lot of Dead by Daylight, like as I have. You know, it's a good little, it's a nice, fun little thing. Nothing amazing. I should maybe play more of it and see whether we can actually effectively romance someone or not, since we were kind of trying to romance everyone, but... Another game that is definitely not new to me in 2022, another one that is in my top video games of all time. This is another game we are technically still ongoing playing, although it's been a long time since we last played it because we like started Resident Evil and stuff. But technically we're still in an ongoing playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. But yeah, this is one of my favorite games. So obviously we're just gonna put it right up here. Sims 4, however, I think I only played this once or twice in 2022, but it was technically in my played games on Steam. I have mixed feelings about Sims 4. Because it's no Sims 3. There's some things they did that I like, but at the same time, Sims 4 is missing a lot of features and just like the heart of earlier games. Like, I still play it occasionally, but every time I play it, part of me is like, this just hasn't caught me the way Sims 3 did. So it's like, where do I put this? Because like, obviously I still play it and I've still sunk a decent amount of hours into it compared to a lot of the rest of my library. But and it has improved, especially from when it came out. Because like, when it first came out, I just like refused to play it. And now there are some decent expansions and stuff, especially like the cottage living expansion is actually really good. I really enjoyed that expansion. So I think I'm going to put it as like, it's okay. I have problems with it, but there are some things that are better about it now. But if you're just considering like the base game in itself, but it's fine. It's just fine. It's just fine. Phasmophobia. I have been playing this game since the very early days of it being early access. So years ago now it came out. I've played a lot of this game. I continue to play this game, not as much as I used to, but if I have friends playing, I'll definitely still jump in. I definitely still enjoy this game, though the one thing I find with this is now that I've played so much of it, it is a very repetitive game once you've played a lot of it, because it's such a basic formula, and it's a basic formula that really works for this game and what it is. But once you've played a lot of it, you do start becoming a little bit desensitized, and it's like same old, same old. So at that point, it is definitely about who you play with and like the experiences you can make with other people. So that is one thing about it at this stage, because I've played a lot of Phas. But I'm still enjoying it. And I like this game. It was my second most played game on Steam this year. However, when you then looked at the breakdown of when I played it, that was pretty much just because of the month it released. The month it released, Ali and I, particularly, I think did like, I don't even know how many hours we played for. Like, we did very, very long days playing this for like days on end when it first released. So this being my second most played was pretty much just because of that release month and how much we played it. And then I kind of didn't play much of it throughout the rest of the year. So I really enjoyed my initial experience with this. Obviously was like addicted to it when it first came out, but then I haven't really gone back to it much since then. So it hasn't really had that staying power for me, I guess, since after I got through like the initial set of like quests and stuff. So I don't know how to feel about this at this stage. So I feel like, given the fact that I have barely revisited since it released, I feel like I have to just put it in, like, it's good, it's fine. Because I also never beat, like, this is the first MMO I've really gotten into in general as well. But I feel like surely, like, the whole thing with MMOs is that they want you to, like, stay engaged, right? Like, if you're not engaged after the first month, has it worked? I don't know. Monster Road Trip. This game only came out at the end of the year. Like, I think it only came out in like November or something. So I've only played it like twice. And yet, I may have only played through it twice at this stage. And yet, I'm putting it in one of my favorite games of the year. This was a 2022 release. That's one of my favorite 2022 releases, even though I've only played it twice at this stage. It's just talking about like the dumb fun, or you know, the smart fun moments as well. Just like fun, just like ridiculous fun. That's what this game is. The art is beautiful. There's so much like ridiculous and out there dialogue, and it's just a good time. Like, I love, like, when I played Monster Prom for the first time, I loved that so much, and this, even though I haven't played a huge amount of it yet, from what I've played, I've just, like, loved every moment of it. So, it's going up there. DBD. So this was my most played game of the year on Steam, but again, mostly because of the beginning of the year. I think I played a lot of it at the beginning of the year, and then not much throughout the year. Partially because Fortnite overtook it as the multiplayer game I was playing, but also because Dead by Daylight had a bunch of updates, where it just made being a survivor, like, all the more painful, to be honest. And it just turned me off in a number of ways. You also get some nasty people in DBD, I meant just little words, do get some nasty people in DBD. So I feel like maybe like a year ago, I would have still been saying I love this, it's one of my favorite games. But at this stage, it's not quite. I'll still play it. I still enjoy playing it with friends. I don't even know whether I'd like outright recommend it anymore though. Like, I'll still play it, but at the same time, I don't even know if I'd recommend it anymore. So like, I'll be like, yeah, it's good, it's fine. I don't know if I can recommend this for your own health and sanity though. I bought Mario Kart this year. And I've talked about before how I never loved Mario Kart. So it's like, why did you buy it then? I bought it to play with friends, especially because like one of my friends was doing like a streamer gaming night, and so this was the main game they were playing. And as I said, like with friends, I'll play pretty much anything, even though I have, you know, come out and said before that I've never really liked Mario Kart. So I have this. I technically played it in 2022. I'll play it if that's what friends are playing. That doesn't mean I necessarily like it though. Every time I play Mario Kart, it just makes me think, I wish I was playing Crash Team Racing right now. And I don't know what it is, but just like navigating, like driving the car has never like clicked with me. It always has felt like wrong, and I can't get it right. And again, every time I'm just like, this doesn't click with me. I would rather be playing CTR. Like, alright, we have Pokémon Violet. This is a game I am currently playing. Technically, I'm still currently playing this. I haven't played it in a while because I went away and I didn't take my Switch with me. And I have mixed feelings about this game. So, Arceus, I was like, yes, so much fun, love this. Violet, my initial thoughts playing this game, like my first hours with it, weren't as positive. I mean, one, there's the thing I think a lot of people have talked about in that this game was just, like, real buggy, and it has things like you go into towns and you can literally, like, see the frames of the characters walking and stuff. So there's stuff like that, but there's also just a lot of stuff that wasn't included in previous games that also just, like, personally irked me. Like, why can I not knock on people's doors and, like, go talk to strangers and stuff? Like, as small as the thing that seems in some context, it also is like, has always been one of the staples of a Pokemon game. Like, why can't I go talk to the strangers? And why can't I customize my clothing? That was a thing they brought in other games. Violet just feels sort of hollow. Yeah, exactly. Again, especially because of that thing of like, you see lots of people around, but you can't really have conversations with them. And you see lots of buildings, but you can't go into the buildings. So it's like, you've just got this big hollow looking world. Like, there's this big world, there's lots of people around, but yeah, it does feel like hollow, right? And like, I haven't hated my experience playing it overall, because especially, you know, one of the main things I like to do playing Pokemon is just catching all the cute Pokemon, right? And there are some new cute Pokemon. There's a pig Pokemon I really like, and there's the fairy Pokemon with the big hammer who I love as well. But yeah, it's like mixed feelings. Like, I'm still playing it. I do plan to keep playing it, but there's a lot about it that I don't love. So there's mixed feelings there, mixed feelings. I'm torn where to put this because, like, as I said, I haven't hated my entire experience because so much of, like, my personal experience with Pokemon is just, like, the cute Pokemon and catching them in and of itself. And obviously, like, that's still fine. And I do really like that you can, like, see all the Pokemon out in the world. But so much about the overall game I don't love. So it's like, is it fine or is it not fine? Because, like, those base things that I do enjoy in a Pokemon game are still there, but there's so much else that's missing or is broken. I mean, I kind of, like, this is my gut feeling, even though, like, yeah, I love some of the Pokemon, and I'm, like, drawing some of the new Pokemon because they're cute, but some of it just makes me mad. This is another one that probably has to go in barely played. I've played a little bit of this. This is just, like, a visual novel kind of thing, kind of deal. I haven't played much of it. From the little bit I played, it didn't really draw me in. But I'm still, like, I'm going to put it in here. Like, it didn't really draw me in. I probably should give it another go, maybe. Cozy Grove, another game I have on my Switch. This is cute. I've played a little bit of this. Again, part of it is, like, these cozy type of games aren't necessarily my favorite things ever, and I don't necessarily get invested in them that often, although Animal Crossing is definitely one I did get very invested in. But, like, this is fine. Like, it's really cute. There's nothing necessarily really wrong with it. It's just not something I feel like I actively need to pick up every day, even though that's kind of meant to be the point. Alright, we have come to the very last one. This is the game, that's not a high quality image, but this is the game that I am currently playing through off stream. So obviously I started it last year. I'm still playing through it. I'm playing it on Nathan's PlayStation. Part of the reason I was been playing it so much over the past, like, month or whatever is because the room his PlayStation is in is the one room with an air conditioning, and we are in the heart of summer. Like, as I said, I'm currently freaking sweating in this room. It's the room with the air conditioning, so I get to sit in front of the air conditioning and play his PlayStation, and it's great. But I've been really enjoying this game. Visually stunning, and I also just really enjoy the gameplay. This is one of the games I enjoy the gameplay of the most, and especially, like, the combat. Like I was mentioning before, how a lot of games in their combat I don't fully gel with. The combat in this I feel like feels really satisfying, and I do actually enjoy it, which is a rare experience for me. I feel like, because I haven't finished it yet, I feel like I don't know whether I can put it right up the top, but, like, if I continue enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying it right now, like, it would probably go in, yeah, I absolutely love this game. At the moment, as it stands, it is probably one of my favorite games of 2022, especially, like, one of my favorite releases, because this did come out last year. But yeah, I haven't finished it yet, but I have played quite a lot of it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. I feel like at this stage, it's a game I'm absolutely loving, unless, like, something happens that, like, enrages me. Like, it's possible that it could happen. But at this stage, I'm currently playing through it. I've played quite a number of hours. I'm really loving it. So for the moment, it's there unless it pisses me off. And that's everything that I played, I believe, in 2022. Unless I played something like outside of Steam or somewhere, because obviously Steam was really easy to track everything I played on there. But as far as I know, and I'll remember, these are all the video games. These are all the video games that I played in 2022, and more or less where I put them. Any thoughts or opinions? Or, you know, what are your favorites or least favorites of the year? Like, if you were making a tier list like this, what are some of the games that you would put right up the top and right down the bottom? Did we wait, I definitely downloaded that. Did I not upload it? That is kind of funny, though, that of all of the games to, have not ended up on here properly. Hi everyone! This is actually, like, my favorite game of the year. Sorry. Oops. That's awkward. Anyways, yeah. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I think, you know, is one of my favorite games I played all year. Definitely one of my favorite releases of 2022. Borderlands spin-off, great fun. There are definitely elements I didn't love about it. Navigating the map is a pain. The inventory is still not the most intuitive, but I had so much fun with this game. And yeah, pretty much everything I've played of this game has been on stream as well. This was also my most played game on Twitch. Oops. But there it is. There it be. Yeah, I'm a bit worried now that maybe that's happened to some other game and the image hasn't popped up there. Anything else that I can think of? Probably not. I mean, considering it didn't even occur to me until someone mentioned it, that we'd missed Tiny Tina's, I probably wouldn't know if something was missed. But yeah, there it be. As long as nothing else was missed, which is not impossible, as far as I'm aware, that's everything. No, that's everything that I played and where we currently rank it. So takeaways from this are: 1, Starzy needs to double check things more thoroughly. 2, Google image saving is stupid. 3, Min needs to play Borderlands with me. Oh, and 4, Vanessa, Ellie, and I need to play more Forewarned. And 5, Pokemon was both some of the best and some of the worst of the games I played, apparently. I will see you all next time. It's been nice to catch up and chill in the new year, but otherwise, I will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out, as always. I appreciate you, and TTFN, good night.